Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Scooby-Doo and Velma and the reaction to the latest development in Velma's character, which a whole lot of people kind of already knew. Varying takes on it, but it's now official. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that because I got possibly one of the more entertaining and fun messages from somebody asking a question like this that I've ever gotten. I saw your little Velma thing in the background and said, "That's bait, but here I am taking it. Is this really necessary? Why do they have to change characters like this? I'm not even opposed to the idea of gay characters on TV, but why does it need to be injected into children's shows? Why does orientation need to be injected at all? I don't hate gay people and have even come around on the idea of representation to some degree. It just seems over the line because it seems like they're specifically targeting young people with this stuff. Any idea why? I've also seen enough of your videos to know if I ask, when did Scooby-Doo become woke, you'll go on a rant about the subtext of the show. Even if I don't agree with your rants, I always find them interesting. So, when did Scooby-Doo become woke? Also, here's something in all caps, so you can say, written in all caps, I like continuity in everything I watch. Okay, so, if you missed it, Velma from Scooby-Doo is officially a member of the LGBTQ community. I think a whole lot of people already knew that or assumed that. One of the other questions I got about this was like, does it not bother you at all? It does on one level, but totally not the way I think it's bothering most people who were concerned about it. I always had her as bi, and I thought it was good to have a character of that orientation that wasn't hyperactive, because that's how they typically get portrayed. So, I mean, that's my big complaint right there. Okay, so to the message. Why does orientation need to be injected at all? Because it's part of the human condition, would be a standard answer. But more importantly, I would ask if you had any issue with Daphne and Fred. I'm going to guess you didn't. It's not the injection of orientation that bothers you. It's this specific type. Let's see. And then it seems like they're specifically targeting young people with this stuff. Any idea why? I have a theory. A recent poll showed that among Gen Z adults, okay, so this is the part of Generation Z that has already become an adult, that 20.8% of them identify as LGBTQ. Okay? So 20%. Another way to say that would be 1 out of 5. And still another way to say that would be Velma, out of Velma, Daphne, Fred, Shaggy, and Scooby. It's just representation. You got it. Okay. So, when did Scooby-Doo become woke? All right, so like it always had a counterculture aspect to it, man. That's my version of Shaggy. That was a pretty integral part of it from the beginning. It was also very much about the empowerment of youth. I would have got away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids type of thing. One of the messages was definitely you can change the world. You can solve the mystery. You can make things better. It's part of the show. The catchline is that empowerment of youth. It isn't really a surprise that the franchise would continue to try to do that. I would also point out there are a lot of people who see it as having very atheistic tendencies, because anything that was supernatural in the show, well, it got demonstrated to be natural. It took away that element. It certainly seems like there are strong anti-capitalist messages in the show itself as well. Because when you think about it, at the end of every episode, the villain, you pull the mask off and it's some rich old man preying on people's ignorance or superstition or fear to in some way facilitate his own economic gain or quest for power. Yeah, it's kind of always been pretty woke in those terms. That's a very ill-defined term, but generally speaking, it means, holding any kind of progressive idea now. So that's what's going on. That's why you're going to see conservatives crying about Velma. And that's just a general overview of why it probably happened. You're going to see more and more of it. You will see more characters adopting this. I'm still a little irritated that we don't know who Elsa's girlfriend is. Because let me tell you something, that is also really telegraphed in that. So it's just one of those things. This is the future. This is how things are progressing. It's what's occurring, because as people have become more accepting of various orientations, well, more people feel comfortable coming out. And as that percentage grew, and now it looks like it's leveling off around 20%, well, then they'll probably have 1 out of 5 characters that are representative of that. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.